All right. Sunday. Ooh, where's my arm itches? Because that scratch I got on my arm. Where is it? Itchy. Don't scratch it, it'll fucking bleed, you idiot. Mega Beach, hello. How are you, sir? Starting out the night with a classy drink because I was shooting close-ups for my cocktail channel just before this stream. 2 birds, 1 stone. I get the close-up shots I want for a video, and I get a nice drink for the stream. This is my creation called American Pie. Miss Foxification, hello. Feel like I haven't seen you for a little while. And Annette, good evening to you. I hope you're starting to feel some improvement from the COVID symptoms. Maybe each getting you light and easy. Nice. And Optical Turkey, my cocktail channel is called Angry Cocktails. It's like where all my creativity goes these days, as in creating pre-recorded videos. And I've started doing a new thing recently, and I showed a bunch of them in the stream. It's like this pseudo-rotoscope, pseudo-animated thing. It's not really animated. It's just run through a filter. And with some lo-fi effects. More than a little inspired by a guy called Joel Haver, who does this rotoscoping thing. James, will the virus go away? We fucking wish, dude. We fucking wish. And hello, Justin, as well, by the way. I don't... Again, oh, shit. I just realized I didn't put the lids on anything. Excuse me for 1 second while I do this. Right. All these bottles where I hadn't put the lids back on them because I'm an idiot, and I'll just put the bottles back on the shelf as well. I'm a silly boy. Put my whiskeys back. My American whiskeys. Okay. Now I've done that. Now I can settle down. So, what was I going to say? Virus go away. Maybe not. Experts might say different, but I think it's likely the virus will just be here every year, may get less severe. We maybe get an annual booster for it. And yes, 80s guy, you've raised the point about we always get mutant strains of influenza, rhinovirus. It's probably just going to be like background noise because in normal years, influenza kills a fuckload of people. But it's not as virulent or as deadly as the COVID viruses. Okay, which are the best light and easy meals? The ones with the sauces and the gravies, basically. Okay. I'm going to go. I'm going to look at the menu and I'm going to tell you which ones are my favorite. Megaleech. Okay, I'll just go the dinners. Okay, ones I like. Spag bowl, beef strog. The sausages with onion gravy is not bad. Pork scallopini is not bad. The roasts are okay if you like roasts. Shepherd's pie is quite good. Spaghetti carbonara is quite good. Slow cooked lamb shanks is quite good. Butter chicken's okay. What are the other ones I like? Chicken parma's not bad. Chicken schnitzel and gravy. Not bad. The ones with gravies and sauces are usually good. Rissoles with mash and gravy. Hell yeah. Lasagna's pretty good. Lamb rogan josh is pretty good. They do, at least they used to. Oh, these are smaller dinners for older Australians. Okay. Let's just get the proper dinners. Okay, so spaghetti bolognese, yes, I mentioned that. Lasagna. Yes, macaroni and cheese I'm a fan of because I often add stuff to it. Their tortilla stack is not bad. Spinach and ricotta tortellini is pretty good. Rigatoni with meatballs. I freaking love that one. Motherfuckers should pay me. Because anyone wondering, I'm not getting paid. The everyday Christmas dinner is not bad, actually. I don't think any of them are bad. It's down to your taste. If something looks like something you'd like, you're probably going to like it. Like, they have a lot of fish ones, and I don't like fish, so I don't get them. But Mrs. Angry does. Yeah, chicken katsu curry. That's pretty good. Man, they have a lot of options these days. And they have some salady ones too. So, honestly, pretty good. So what's that, James, about Western Australia? Have we ever had a virus in them? We've had lots of virus. We've had more deadly viruses. We've had more widespread pandemics. This shit just keeps happening. 80s guys raiding the fridge because I've been talking about food. Oh, nice. Now you like the fresh salmon meals. That's your fave. I think Mrs. Angry likes those too. Oh. Yeah, this, my creation, American Pie, which I've made to commemorate the anniversary of the day the music died, which is coming up this week. Plane crash that killed Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper, and most famously immortalized in the Don McLean song "American Pie," and because he refers to the good old boys drinking whiskey and rye. So this has American whiskey and American rye, which is the different sort of whiskey in here, and the pie thing, because I think apple pie's the most American of pies. So it's got an apple liqueur and a berry liqueur and a couple of dashes of Angostura bitters, and it's nice. 80s guy, you like homemade meatballs? Yeah, meatballs are good. Mega Leech, Lean Cuisine chicken and cheese pepper pasta gave it a 7. Thing is, I think the supermarket ones are fine by and large, but these days, Light and Easy has 5 to 10 times more range than the supermarkets have. They have a fucking incredible range, and you can get little mini meals as well, which I like. It's changed a lot over the last couple of decades, because the first time I had Light and Easy was about 20 years ago. James, Western Australia is bad country of residence in by Reticent Blue Hotel. Not altogether sure what you're saying, buddy. I love that, Justin. That's a fun bit of history. Western Australia's always had an independent streak, always also voted to become a British colony against once. Australian Constitution wouldn't really allow that. That's a pretty classy drink I've made, I really must say. Congratulate myself. So, yes, states can do funny things like we want to secede from the Federation. The Constitution prevents it. Optical Turkey saying the monarchy said no. 33, that would have been Betty Windsor, wouldn't it, in her early days? My history's not that good. I don't remember if her dad was still alive in 33. Okay, so Miguelich, you got about 56 dinners available in Tasmania. I don't reckon they have more than 10 good low-calorie microwave meal options in the supermarket. So I stand by. I think, depending how you measure it, I think Light and Easy has about 5 to 10 times the variety of supermarkets. And broadly, it's better. Some of the supermarket ones are fine. But the Light and Easy ones are just really quite good. Should stop raving about them. They're not paying me. No more positive reviews unless cash is offered. Then it'll absolutely be cash for comment. But as I've already laid out, it wouldn't be a lie. Okay, Nettie, it was George in 33. As I prefaced my statement, my history knowledge, actually pretty bad. But he must have died about then. He died somewhere around then, didn't he? Um, 36. I was right. He died not long after that. So there you go. 36. James, I'm not in charge of Western Australia. Okay, so you got 28 dinners, 15 lunches, 10 soups. There you go. Sturdy freezer, I assume you have. That's like a friggin' month's worth of food. 80s guy, Stauffer's is a microwave meal brand that's good, relatively speaking. If you have a high metabolism at your age, look for as good as fasting. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. You find something that works for you, go for it, I say. So it is what it is. Justin, there will be a great rending of cloth in the UK when Betty Capoodle Schnitzer pops her clogs. Right, Dr. Abigail. You actually heard I was in charge of the WA border? Yeah. Word got around. I tried to actually keep it secret. Yeah. James, that's sad that you thought everyone was going to die with COVID-19. No, just a lot of people. And this is the thing. When we say 1 to 2% of people dying, in terms of the entire population, that's a fuckload of people. That is a lot of people to die who otherwise would not have in a 1 to 2 year period. So it's pretty good that we've controlled it to the extent we have, even with stupid people not getting vaccinated and not isolating and whatnot. The death toll's still much lower than it could have been. I mean, like you look at, the US, what are they? What's their population? 200 and something million? So a 1 to 2% death rate is, 2, 4, 5 million people dying. That's a lot of people. Megaleech, I don't think, nothing stands out in my head saying, ew, gross, avoid it. But it's going to come down to what you like, what your personal taste is. If my experience with Light and Easy, if something sounds like something you would like, you're probably going to like it. Thank you, Optical Turkey, 330 million. That's another thing. I'm bad at, remembering geographical facts. So 1 to 2% of 330 million is, 3 to 6 million people dying in a relatively short time frame. That's a fuckload of people. You'd notice it if that many people who weren't otherwise going to die did die. So, yeah, it's not everyone. It was never going to be everyone. But a lot, yes. A lot of people. Abigail, you thought lots of people were going to die and everyone was going to run out of toilet paper. Well, there were a few toilet paper scares. I did note again the other day in the supermarket, there was no toilet paper on the shelf. So, like, I don't know, people continue to be idiots. 80s guy, the orange clown. What's the weirdest thing is, like, yes, he pandered to the anti-vaxxers because he does anything for power and adulation. But it's funny, he hasn't really descended. He doesn't believe the bullshit he's saying about the election being fixed. It's just that he knows he can profit by saying it. He wants to claim credit for how effective the vaccines are because they were developed while he was president. And the successful development of vaccines for COVID is fucking amazing. It is a fucking incredible achievement. And Trump knows that, and he wants to claim credit for it. But anytime he says anything positive about vaccines, the rabid fucking lunatics who he's been whipping into a frenzy for years turn on him. It's really quite funny to watch him in public things trying to say positive things about vaccines, because he doesn't want the Democrats to have credit for vaccines. He's going, no, credit me with this amazing scientific development, which he doesn't deserve credit for, but, you know, he wants to claim credit. And his lunatic followers lose their fucking shit every time he says it. Yeah, 80s guy, con artists tend not to believe their bullshit. I mean, cults, it gets weird. The repetition of stuff in cults, even the people who don't believe it tend to end up believing it just through repetition. And I put mainstream religion in that too. Have you finished watching TV in there? No, okay, that's cool.
Why?
Oh, just I'm going to be cheeky at some point and open the door and point the air conditioner in here. It's a little bit warm. It's tolerable.
Well, I was thinking of staying in there because it's so hot in the other room.
Oh, for your call? Oh, do that. Yeah, no, do that. It's not intolerable here by any stretch of the imagination. So, yeah, Megaleech is statistically 10% of Australia has had COVID. Realistically, it's probably closer to 20%. But yes, the more cases, you know, in the last month than in the last year is pretty, like, disturbing. Oh, yes, 80s guy. Trump absolutely doesn't deserve credit for the vaccines. He wants to claim it because he knows it's an amazing feat. But his lunatic fringe can't stand it. Okay, you know what, James? I've been humoring your troll bullshit for long enough. Fuck off, you fucking dickhead. I fucking know who you are, you fucking loser piece of shit. Fucking obvious prick. Megaleech, WA's had a total of 1,500 cases. 344. Oh, yeah, no. If we'd maintained controls, everything just got out of control when the fuckheads in New South Wales did not do what every other state had been doing. And then it got out of control, and then it spread to Victoria and got out of control, and then Omicron came, and then everything was fucked. It falls fairly and squarely on combo of the federal government and the New South Wales government. Everything that's gone fucking tits up in the second half of last year. I'm so pissed off with them. 80s guy, yeah. Oh, I'm angry. That one thing that I tolerated their stupidity. It's this real sad fucking loser troll who is fucking obsessed with me, and no word of a lie, I think it's reasonable to say he's created at least 50 YouTube channels just to come in here and be a fucking loser. I mean, seriously, how pathetic do you have to... be to do this. I mean, I know I'm wonderful and sexy and all that, and I understand his obsession with me, but Jesus Christ, seriously. So Miguel saying Taz has doubled the deaths in 2 weeks. Yeah, I think broadly most states have had as many deaths in the first month of this year as they had all last year. So we may or may not be past a peak. Even if we are, what it means is over the coming months, a lot of people are going to die. A lot. It's like the one hope is the health system doesn't collapse. So 80s guy, no, I never left. That's okay, dude. COVID has mellowed me a bit. I've spent most of the last 2 years just doing live streams to try and maintain sanity and have hangouts and chill outs. The whole doing the pre-recorded videos and trying to get an audience lost basically all its appeal for me. Megaleech, I know COVID generally has been 2 years, and you're saying Taz doubled the overall toll in the last 2 weeks. I was just saying, like particularly in New South Wales and Victoria, I was specifically saying I saw that statistic. There's been as many deaths in the first month of this year as there was all last year. Abigail, I understand. Chronic fatigue. How fucking sucky. Oh, yeah, Justin, school goes back. Cases go up. No two ways about it. No two ways about it. I saw an article in like the Age, like, our business is very keen to get people to go back to the office. Like, get fucked. It's like, we should go back to the office. It's like, no, I'm holding out for as long as possible because I like being at home, basically. And ooh, gross. Other people, gross. They will be struggling if they put the hard word on. They will be struggling to get me back in the office for more than 2 days a week, quite honestly. Because fuck that. All right. But, you know, que sera, sera. As Doris Day. I almost said Donald Day. We've been talking about Donald Trump so much. Doris Day. '80s, if it wasn't for idiots, new COVID strain would be called COVID-22. Stop most people from getting COVID-19 because people are idiots. Just the lies and the misinformation and the stupidity and the paranoia. Depressing as fuck, basically. It's kind of like I already had a really low opinion of humanity, like super low opinion of humanity. But my low opinion that used to be here is now here. Like, my opinion of humanity generally was in the gutter. Now it's down in some very deep sewers. It's actually a bit warm. I have a little cooler thing here that I might use to cool me down. So if you'll excuse me, I'm just going to fiddle with some things for... this will just take a couple minutes. Right. Shite. Let's see. I can put some of this ice in here. Put ice in here. All right. Nice. Nice use of ice. What are we doing? Okay. Now, there's an actual filter thing that is what makes you cool. It's in the freezer. So I kind of soaked it in water and put it in the freezer. This is just this tiny little thing I got from, I don't know, like the Good Guys or something. Okay. So we put the little cooler in. Moving some shit out of the way. All right, let's put my little cold filter in there. Nope, that didn't work. What the fuck is that about? What did I do wrong there? I think that's right. Come on, surely that's right. No? Is it the other way? Or is it this way? Ah, that looks like it. Come on. Come on. Come on, you know you want to do it.
Hey, actually, maybe we should open up because it's almost as cool outside.
Okay, I'll do that. I'm just trying to get this thing to work. And I'm not sure why it won't. Ha! I think I worked it out, actually. Yes! Go, you good thing. I'm going to open this door to let some fresh air in. All right. How's that? Yep. All right, now I've got cool air. I'm good. Chris, let's risk kids because they're annoying. Yes. Mega Leech, at least a quarter of humanity are idiots. My God, that's being conservative. It was the old George Carlin joke. You know, think of the average person. How stupid the average person is. Half people are stupider than that. It was a fun joke. It's not really how intelligence works, but it was a fun joke. All right. Oh, I inhaled while I was drinking that. Yes. Thanks, 80s Kai. There are a couple of people from the Northern Hemisphere, opposite seasons. Abigail, technically half the world are idiots. You mean by the old classification of idiot that you were like below the average IQ? Which is funny. You find that out in the early 20th century. Like we rightly say calling someone retarded now is an insult and a slur. But that was not the only, like words that we just think you're being mean, like imbecile, idiot, moron. They actually had medical definitions. It was very kind of eugenics-ish talk. It was tied to IQ and whatnot. But all those terms and idiot was someone who was more impaired than someone who was medically retarded, which is interesting. So, yeah. Chris is in the fascist rally in Texas. Oh, yeah. I love that. Fascist, I mean freedom rally. It was depressing. I mean American. Oh. Justin, Winston Churchill said, best argument against democracy is a 5-minute conversation with the average voter. I'm not sure if he did, because an enormous amount of sayings get attributed to Winston Churchill that he never actually said. But he was a grumpy and argumentative bugger, so that seems like the sort of thing he may well have said. Okay, optical turkey, the median. I'm going to look up the definitions again, because I always get this mixed up. Median. What I'm basically looking up is median and mode. The median is the value separating the higher half of a data sample from the lower half. Okay. So, for example, in the data set 1, 3, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, the median is 6, the fourth number. Median is like just the thing that's in the middle. Okay, it's not the average, it's just the thing that's in the middle. Okay. Difference between median and mode is a maths thing. So the mean is the average. The mode is the number that occurs the most. And the median's just the number in the middle. Okay, Mrs. Angry's forgotten something in the microwave. I'm just going to open it so it's not beeping. Oh, okay. Dr. Abigail, I remember reading in high school they had technical definition based on the rand. Yes, and of course IQ is a ridiculous, subjective, and borderline meaningless thing. But yes, all those terms, moron, imbecile, idiot, were linked to IQ scores, which is interesting. And they were medical terms, which was interesting. Chris, you had 20,000. I saw that. Maybe even on your Twitter stream, actually. 20,000 New York cops unmasked for one killed officer. Yes. He's technically half the people are idiots. Okay, now I'm going to look up historical meaning of idiot and imbecile. Okay. Terminology, 18th, early 19th century. I think I found what I want. Let's have a look. How is it defined? Okay, so these were the old terms. Lunatics, defined as sometimes of good and sound memory and understanding, and sometimes not. So, yeah, in modern terms, you could say a lot of people who have been calling lunatics probably had something along the lines of bipolar or complex PTSD. Idiots were defined as natural fools from birth. Oh my God, that's funny. Imbecile was used to describe a person who was unable to take care of themselves. An idiot was a person unable to protect themselves from common dangers. That actually wasn't complete. Oh, here we go. Clinical meaning from Merriam-Webster. Idiots so defective, mental development never exceeds that of a normal child of about 2 years. Imbeciles, those whose development is higher than an idiot, but whose intelligence does not exceed that of a normal child of about 7 years. Morons, those whose mental development is above that of an imbecile, but does not exceed that of a normal child of about 12 years. That's actually pretty good definitions of how people used to use the terms. It's designed and what the level development you would expect from a child. Well, again, 80s guy, I think the use of the terms has varied a lot over the years, but that was the clinical definitions used until at least the early to mid 20th century. Tying it to how you'd expect your average child to develop. 80s guy, narcissism is a whole different thing. I agree with you about narcissists tending to be incapable of improving or learning from life experience that defies their narrative, but you definitely get a lot of very high functioning narcissists. People are super good at rejecting stuff that does not conform to their worldview. And I would put myself as falling into that trap at least sometimes. So, okay. So, enough fun of Yeah, sorry, I was just blocking something. I was thinking of exploring a dronk. A drinky drink. Da, 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 da. Punch drink, punch drink. Okay, I'm going to randomly go to a site, and the next best Negroni, the Cardinal. Fuck off, Campari. The next. Oh, okay. This could be fun. The next modern classic cocktail. Someone from Death and Co. Okay, it's Lavinia. Okay, it sounds good. It's a whiskey cocktail. Rye, Amaro, sherry. I might try that. I've got some of Mrs. Angry's homemade wine that she thinks is a good approximation of sherry. Rome with a view. Okay, or a Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. All right, I need to check that out too. Colonial tiles, a Sazerac style. Okay, these are all falling into the sort of thing I like. A Hot Lips, a smoky, spicy pineapple margarita. That's okay. All right, drinky drink time. Hi, Safa. Is that 80s guy? Stupid cog falls into a machine, can work, doesn't mean it's better than stupid cog. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm going to try it. Well, I'm going to try one of them. Okay. Lavinia says rye, Amaro, and sherry and orange bitters. This other one, a Bensonhurst, is rye, vermouth, maraschino, and China. Okay. Colonial Ties is rye, rum, sugar, bitters, and absinthe rinse. Rye and rum. I'm going to try that. Not with a sugar cube. I'm going to do my special sugar syrup. All right, I'm just going to make this in the glass. Jamaican rum. Oh, there we go. First spam bot. Worst spam bot ever. Just the most pathetic attempt at spam, and I suppose it's phishing, is it? I don't know. It's never going to work, though. It's terrible. It's very weird to me. Anyway, all right. So, I've got to decide what rum. I think I'll use Australian rye. I have so many rums. And they said Jamaican. Jamaican me crazy. I think my only Jamaican is Smith and Cross. And that's Navy strength. Fuck it. I'm doing it. No one can stop me. Smith and Cross, Navy strength rum, because we're in the Navy. Oh, 80s. I don't have much of a man cave. I have a good booze selection. Probably, my ultimate goal in my retirement would be to have a proper home bar set up. All right, so what else am I supposed to put in this? Just sugar and bitters. I'm not putting soda in. An absinthe rinse. All right, where's my absinthe? Just going to do I can't be bothered doing a rinse. I'll just put a splash of absinthe in. Absinthe on absinthe. Too many guys are getting heavy. That's probably enough. Just a splash. Mate doesn't want to go home with you. Home with you. This sugar syrup. Just a tiny bit of it left. I'm gonna make another bottled old fashioned, I think. Use up some of my gear. Right. Absinthe bitters. Right, I'm going to put some orange bitters in. Put some orange bitters. Alright, you know what? I'm putting this in. Okay. I haven't used this yet. My barrel-aged bitters. Oh, there's my orange bitters over there. A whole bunch of my bitters are still out. I haven't put them back on the shelf. Got about a dozen different bitters. Some people would say that's excessive. Whoops. We missed another spam bot. There we go. 80s guy. It's pretty good man cave to me, just having the booze here. But I'd like to have a proper sort of room dedicated, have like a speakeasy type bar in there. Oh, yeah, no, 80s guy. Absinthe's been legal for a while now. And in fact, the fact absinthe was ever illegal was dumb bullshit hype. A bunch of stories about it that just weren't true. But yeah, it's actually the absinthe I have is Spanish. And it's pretty high octane. They actually do different strengths and they color code it. Their green absinthe is 70% alcohol. They have a red absinthe that's 75% alcohol. I have their blue absinthe, which is 80% alcohol. And they also have a black absinthe that's 85% alcohol. Nice, Abigail. You like that I'm not bitter. So, again, double checking. I think it's just an ounce of each, yeah? Okay. Ounce of each. Okay, a little bit of sugar syrup. Boot that much, I think. How much is anything? All right. That one might be done. Bit of my very flavorful sugar syrup. Jamaican rum. Jamaican me crazy. And yes, Justin, Putin has an army of internet trolls. And he doesn't even have to employ them. He's just beefed up nationalism and xenophobia so much in Russia that they volunteer to do it, basically. 80s guy. Absinthe was literally never hallucinogenic. That was a lie. That was lie put about. The active ingredient that people said was hallucinogenic was wormwood or thujone. Not true. So I would really need to be very clear on that. Absinthe was never at any stage hallucinogenic. It has traditionally been very high alcohol content, which is, honestly going to have an effect on you. But the early 20th century hysteria about absinthe came from two areas. It was, the Bohemians who were undermining the authority of the ruling class were very into absinthe and they wanted to discredit them. But then there was this case of a guy who killed his family and they whipped up this whole bullshit around it as because he was on absinthe and it drove him crazy and blah, blah, blah. No, it's a complete lie. It was completely fabricated. He was just a piece of shit who killed his family. We get pieces of shit who kill their families today. So, yeah. The optical turkey, yes, you're appreciating that the hallucinogenic thing is myth. Yeah. So the base herb in real absinthe is wormwood or thujone. It's very licoricey. It's like aniseed. So it's a very acquired taste, but absolutely 100% is not, never has been hallucinogenic. That was just some weird hype people came up with. So stir, stir, stir. All right, this is a new drink to me, the Colonial Ties. God damn, it's good. Oh, wow, I really like that. Oh, yeah, I friggin' like that a lot. Smith & Cross was a really good choice for the rum. It's a traditional Jamaican rum. This is what they call a pot still rum. So this style of rum making makes what a lot of people call a very funky rum. Like it's got incredibly strong flavors. It's kind of like overripe fruit. Some people will get banana from it. Some people get pineapple from it. And it's like, it's that taste that's so intense that it's kind of bordering on not good. Like it's this decaying fruit flavor, but I like it. Yes, Abigail. The real problem is violent video games. The Vikings played a lot of violent video games, led to all that raping and pillaging. Safa, absinthe is a very herbal liqueur, and absinthe with no artificial colors will be a sort of olive, a very light olive green, sort of this murky olivey green color, which is not that appealing. I've had an uncolored one. It was it Croatian? I got it from the airport duty free one point, and it still had all the herbs in it, and that had no artificial color, and so it's kind of like a tea made with green herbs. So, and a true absinthe with no artificial color would be kind of like green tea color. But yeah, people have traditionally, it's been the green fairy. People have traditionally put green artificial coloring in it. But like I say, I kind of like the one I have, the Spanish one. They color code the different strengths: green, red, blue, and black. I got the blue one. I used to have the black one, but it, because it's super strong, 85% alcohol. But it made all the drinks really murky and whatnot. Whereas the other colored ones lend a bit of color to the drink without making them too murky. Also, there's lots of natural oils in absinthe from the herbs that are in it. So when you add absinthe to anything, or you add anything to absinthe, you get this effect that's called louching. It's basically the oils come out of solution and it goes cloudy. So the ultimate wanky classic way to drink absinthe is you have this really elaborate apparatus that has chilled water at the top. You have a little glass that has absinthe in it. You got this thing that has chilled water in it that has a nozzle that you can control the drip rate, and you put a sugar cube under that, suspended above the absinthe glass, and you drip the water through. So the water slowly dissolves the sugar cube and the sugar goes into the glass, and you put as much water as goes to your taste. But as the water goes into the absinthe will go cloudy because it's the oils come out of suspension, and that's called louching. Absinthe is not the only spirit that does that. Some gins will do that if the botanicals that are in the gins have a decent amount of natural oil in them. So some clear spirits will go cloudy when you add anything to them because the oil's in it. 80s during your drug dealer days, tried making some wormwood. Could not do it, actually made crappy version of LSD from rye bread, homegrown crap. Tried tapping into design a drug under the radar things. Yeah. I mean, if only I knew someone who was using their science now to grow the mushrooms that are known as magic. Sadly, I know of no such thing. I know of no such person. I would not associate with people who would do such foul thing. The fucking cicada's back, and just as annoying, the fucking spam bot is back. Still the weirdest, worst, most pathetic spam bot in history. Could not possibly get anyone ever. I'm making this one for my YouTube channel. This is really good. How do they suggest serving it? Okay, yeah, no ice because, yeah, traditionally you don't put ice on a Sazerac. I need my book. Sorry, I need to make a note of this one because I'm definitely going to make it. 80s guy, you had a mushroom farm in your basement to fund some things. Nice. Yes, see, Abigail? Us fine, moral, upstanding people would not tolerate anyone who would do that sort of thing. Safi, you might be right. We've been dissing Putin tonight, so we send all these spam bots in unusual numbers. That could be true. Jiggle turkey. You had a friend asking if you could use your science knowledge to make meth. Needless to say, dude, was people taking Breaking Bad seriously? Wild. Sorry, excuse me for like 1 minute. I'm going to get my notebook so I can write this recipe down because it's good. All right, I'm back. Mrs. Angry's in the next room having a video talk to her brother in England. So I stuck my head in and said hello. Hellian, hello, Kirsten. How are you? Cheers to you. I found a new drink. I need to write it down. Put it in the book. Put it in the book. I want to buy some. I want this to be like a teenage girl's diary. I want to put some really colorful stickers in here to rate the drinks that I've put in here. I haven't made them all yet. I see one I like, but this one I want to write down so I don't forget. The Colonial Ties. Okay. I'm going to write it down. Colonial Ties. And it's on Punch, so I can look it up if I need to. Okay, so 1 Oz Rye. 1 Oz Jamaican rum. Sugar. 2 dashes. Orange. Bitters. Okay. 1 bar spoon soda water. That sounds like wank, honestly. But when I do it for my channel, I'm going to do that. 1 bar spoon soda. Absinthe Rinse. All right. Saved. Sure, I could bookmark it and use the internet, but I like having a notebook too. I actually do bookmark stuff on the internet too. Fuck you, cicada. Okay, Kirsten, trying to decide if you want an alcoholic beverage or fizzy water. Maybe An alcoholic beverage with fizzy water. After all, the official drink of the stream is the Snozberry Fizz. I've not had that much to drink tonight. The Snozberry Fizz, equal parts whiskey, sloe gin, and then topped with bubbles of your choice. This one's good. This one is good. I'm friggin' liking this one. Oof. Although after this, I'm going to eat the cherry because it's absorbed the flavor of a couple of drinks and have some water after this one. And in fact, at that point, I may not have any more alcoholic beverages. I might have one more, but I might just drink water for the rest of the stream. I don't know. I haven't decided. The world it's wide open. Also, I've only drunk half of that. So it's going to be a little while before I finish drinking that anyway. So the Colonial Ties, which I'm drinking, it's invented by Eric Alpen from The Varnish. Oh, and it should have a lemon twist. Okay. I got to remember that for when I make it for my channel. So The Varnish. So The Varnish is in Los Angeles, set up between Sasha Petrasky and Sid Moses. Okay. Okay, and the guy who invented this drink was trained by Sasha Petrasky, who's like one of the legends of the modern cocktail movement. He died quite young. Bit sad, but... Okay. My God, that cicada is so fucking loud out there at the moment. This Foxification, you've seen Nutjob Yanks trying to get a gun, go to Ukraine. Oh, well, you know, whatever. We're going to let him. Okay, this one, again, my rating scores for cocktails and anything really out of 10. 7 out of 10 is good, like notable. Anything less than 7 out of 10 is like 6 out of 10. Okay, that's fine. I didn't hate it. Less than 6 out of 10 is fucking bad. That person should be embarrassed. 7 out of 10 is actively good, but I'm not going to rush to do it again. 8 out of 10 is very good. Definitely going to do it again. 9 out of 10 is holy shit, that's good. I want another one right now. This, I'm still tossing up. This is at least an 8.5. It's at least an 8.5. It's fucking good. It's comparatively simple. 2 spirits. At least an 8.5 out of 10. I really fucking like it, actually. This is of new cocktails I've tried in the last... Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb. New cocktails I've tried, and certainly in the last month or so, this is probably my favorite. This is probably... And I have tried a bunch of new cocktails in the last couple of months. This one stands out as, holy shit, I fucking love that. Suffers Putin spying you in Australia. Putin's pretty busy killing dissidents in his own country. Chris, wasn't it funny that American conservatives kind of loved the shirt off characteristics of Putin? It's just because he's a tough guy. And they all think they're tough guys. So they like tough guys. So I kind of like that Billie Eilish song. I'm a bad guy. Now I want to remember the lyrics. I'm going to get the lyrics. Billie Eilish. Bad guy lyrics. I thought the lyrics on that track was, "You're a tough guy, like it really rough guy, just can't get enough guy, chest always so puffed guy." That's Putin. That's how Putin sees himself. Putin's a fucking piece of shit. Yes, Safi, you are a dissident and a traitor to the motherland. Okay, I'm going to make this one properly, which includes not having ice in the glass so it doesn't dilute over the life of the drink. But I also don't mind it when drinks dilute over the life of the drink. Sort of brings in different elements. But I'll do a proper absinthe rinse and do a lemon zest twist. I like the way this person said this drink is a combination of rye whiskey and Jamaican rum. They're saying combining the two is almost like an earthy cognac. It's a very interesting way to put it. Fun tip. You'll see some cocktails call for an absinthe rinse. Like you don't have absinthe in your cocktail, you have an absinthe rinse. Wow, my frame rate just went weird. Don't know if weird shit is happening for anyone else, but just looked weird to me for a second. I just got super distracted. But yes, an absinthe rinse, what that is traditionally is you put a bit of absinthe in the glass and swirl it around so it coats the glass and tip the excess out. Now, I'm not going to tip absinthe down the drain because it's yummy and expensive. But there was a tip I saw on a website. I think it was on Difford's Guide. I quite like it. What you do, because it's also good to chill your glass before you put a cocktail in. So what I like to do for an absinthe rinse, in the glass you're going to serve the drink, put a lot of ice in there, and then put a splash of absinthe in there, 5 or 10 mils, so it goes around the glass, and then go off and make the cocktail. So blah, 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 making the cocktail. When the cocktail's made, drain the absinthe, and water will have been added to the absinthe. The ice will have melted a bit. So drain the absinthe and the water from the melted ice out of the glass, chuck the ice, pour the cocktail into the glass that's chilled and has an absinthe rinse in it. And then after the drink, you have this absinthe chaser, which is pretty cool. I like that. Chris, you're gonna use the nukes for freedom nukes. That's what we want. This is all we're going Dr. Strangelove, which is a very silly and fun Stanley Kubrick movie from the 60s, but I think it still works. If you've never seen Dr. Strangelove or How I Stopped Worrying and Learned to Love the Bomb, it's really good. Peter Sellers plays 3 different roles in it. He plays the US president. He plays the rocket science Dr. Strangelove, who is obviously heavily influenced by Werner von Braun, who was a Nazi scientist that the Americans spirited away after the war to help with their nuke program. And he also plays a British officer. It is wonderful satire. It's very funny. I haven't watched it for a while. I feel like I'd still find it funny if I watched it again. But it's a very funny movie. It's a Cold War satire from the early 60s. I think it still holds up. So it's a 60-year-old film, I think. Gonna look it up. Doctor Strangelove is 64. So it is essentially a 60-year-old film. Oh no, asking Chris about nationalizing infrastructure. I think Chris actually agrees that it's going to make some joke about freedom. Chris, if you want a heart attack, another film came out the same year called Failsafe. Okay, I don't know that one. Although the name sounds vaguely familiar. This one's a winner. This is a very good drink. Okay. Love those maraschino cherries. So good. Optical Turkey, in what way do you think Doctor Strangelove is challenging for a modern audience? It's an interesting comment. I like it. Abigail, as far as you're aware, Von Braun was a bit misrepresented. He was in the Nazi party, but only for survival. Yeah, I don't have a lot of time for people who developed weapons for the Nazis. Oh, survival. Okay. You know what a lot of people do? They chose to fight against the Nazis rather than actively help the Nazis, like Von Braun and a bunch of other scientists. Chris says, socialist hearing nationalization, revolution sends tingles. But what about your freedom? Von Braun absolutely had a choice, and a lot of people took that choice. A lot of people took the choice, I know the Nazis will kill me, I'm going to fight them anyway. The Nazis were able to come to power and do what they did because a bunch of people went, well, the Nazis will I'll lose my job, I'll lose my home, and the Nazis will fucking kill me. And these things were all true. But if all of Germany had said, no, I'm going to resist, even if it means my home, my livelihood, my life, the Nazis could not have done what they did. Optical Turkey. Okay, you mean the movie requires more interpretation than modern cinema. Oh, it is not like modern films. Definitely. See, Abigail, I still haven't watched She-Ra, so I don't get the reference. Safa, that was the old thing. The Reichstag fire, the Nazis blamed on the Jews, but it was the classic thing where they were whipping up hysteria to consolidate their power. Oh, I'm going to drink some water now. Okay, I spilled a little bit of water there. I might be mildly Tim Smith. I don't think I'm even half Tim Smith, actually. But again, half Tim Smith means don't drive a car. Oh, that's good. So, Chris, Failsafe has amazing performances. It's good. They did a remake. Oh, that live TV movie. Was that thing? It had George Clooney and Richard Dreyfuss and a couple of other real big names in it. Is that what we're talking about? Because as soon as you said live TV movie, I kind of thought I knew what you were talking about. Harvey Keitel, that's the other big name I was trying to remember. If you're talking about what I think you're talking about. Christ, how... Okay, Safa, I'm holding you personally responsible for the number of Putin spam bots that have come in tonight. That is a funny one, Safa. How much would the Vic Lips lose as Tim Smith as opposition leader? A lot. And he clearly thought he was destined for party leadership. and now he's just got to go on Sky News or something. Hey, Celtic King, how you doing? Oh, Safa, you say you don't know these bots? That's exactly what someone who was working for Putin would say. There's a joke among the YouTube bartenders. We have a really fun community. We talk to each other on Discord and stuff. And there's a guy, this old guy who everyone loves because he's just like this retired guy, and him and his wife are just living their best life. And he's very cool, and he just makes these drinks that he puts an absolutely excessive amount of alcohol in. And I mean, like, most cocktails have somewhere between 2 and 3 ounces of alcohol in them. So again, some lighter ones might be 45 mils, but 90 mils of alcohol in a cocktail is fairly high octane. So 3 ounces. Cocktail Tony will make cocktails that have 5-6 ounces of alcohol in them. Like, they're doubles. They're drinks for 2 to 3 to 4 people. And he says this is a single cocktail. It's like absolute madness. But we love him. He's just a guy living his best life. And he's an Italian American. And we made jokes about him being in the mob. And he made a cocktail once that was called the Gangster. And he's going, I love this when he goes, but I'm not a gangster. And I'm like, that is exactly what a mobbed up guy would say. So, Chris, you're a freedom bot. So, Chris, failsafe. Oh, yeah, it was the Clooney one, 2000. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to give you a very brief précis of failsafe then, because I know the live TV movie. What it basically is, it's like a not funny version of Dr. Strangelove. It's basically a bunch of American nuclear bombers get scrambled to actually nuke Russia because they think Russia has launched an attack. After the bombers are launched, the Americans realize Russia hasn't launched an attack. Oh my God, we've got a bunch of bombers en route to Russia, and we're finding it impossible to call them back. And they're going to nuke Russia, and Russia will nuke us back in return, and then we're all fucked. What do we do? And when they can't call some of the bombers back, they're tracking their own bombers. They actually tell the Russians where the bombers are so the Russians can shoot them down. But one of the bombers evades the Russian countermeasures, and the Americans are doing everything in their power to contact them by radio going, dude, don't fucking do it. Don't fucking do it. Don't fucking do it. Calling off the attack. And they are under orders, like they reached a point of no return, and they are under orders to not turn back no matter what. And so they don't believe it when the American president gets on the radio, tells them to stop, because it's like, oh, it's Russian psyops. And then the pilot's son gets on the radio, Daddy, please don't do it. And the crew's going, man, don't believe it. The Russians are just doing their psyops. And so you get this critical. I actually won't give away the ending. Sea Death. It's called Failsafe. So there's an original film from the 60s, as Chris is saying. It's from the 60s, but there was a film that was actually done. It was streamed live, so it was like theater. They actually set up the staging in a series of sound stages and whatnot, and it was actually broadcast live on network TV, which is very interesting, because if anyone had forgotten their lines, it would have fucked, or if there'd been a technical problem, it would have fucked up the whole thing. But it's called Failsafe. I won't give away the actual ending, but that's the basic thing, that it gets down to the point that an American bomber has gone past the point of no return, and what do you do from there? Big cast. I think George Clooney might have produced it as well. Yeah, pretty fucking depressing and bleak, quite honestly. It's like it's Doctor Strangelove without the jokes, basically. So yeah, if you want a depressing time, watch Failsafe. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, I need to think of something upbeat to say. Have I watched anything upbeat and funny? Suffer Weed in Cold War II. Not really. There are lots of political and military tensions around the world. It's not the same as the Cold War. Cold War dragged on for decades. And there's a bunch of proxy wars for it. It's very, very strange. I don't know what we're in now. So, Chris, the movie the first time had you sweating. It was so good. Abigail, yeah, I think that's a good recommendation for people generally. Watch She-Ra on Netflix. Mofo saying, hello, that's a depressing thing to say. We're overdue for World War III. You know, I have this stupid hope that humans won't do something that stupid. But humans are stupid. So who knows? Who fucking knows? We have had a blessed run, certainly since the 60s. And maybe we're due for life to be as shitty as it was in the first 20 years. The first 20 years of the 20th century were fucked, honestly. But yes, Miss Fox, occasionally think US propaganda is different to reality. True. Russia, Ukraine, Europe, everyone's saying step down, calm down. Yeah, and also the China stuff I'm not on board with either. Oh, God. Okay, optical turkey. If China and Russia allied and said to each other, yeah, I'll back you on Taiwan, you back me on Ukraine, that could be very unpleasant. I mean, China, I think, has the largest standing army in the world. They also have nukes, but they also have the largest standing army in the world, I think. We are all extremely lucky that China has been rather inwardly focused for, you know, the last 60 years or whatever. Okay, I don't know that one, Chris. Film about military coup in the US, 7 Days in May. Kick-ass film. A 60s film. Okay, cool. I'm not that familiar with that one. As I'm always kind of saying, hey, Robert Evans does good stuff. He does the Behind the Bastards podcast. And the other things of his I've recommended, and I'll recommend again, there's his podcast, It Could Happen Here, which has been revamped now. And it's 5 days a week. They talk about, you know, political upheaval thing. But the original run of It Could Happen Here is like a mini series about how America could have another civil war. And he's explored a whole bunch of possibilities, and it's very compelling. He also has a novel. He's written a novel, and I listened to the audiobook version of it. And it's fuck you, why am I fucking using Microsoft Edge? For fuck's sake, you fucking munted fucks. Fuck, I hate Microsoft. Now I forgot what I was going to fucking look for. Oh, I'm fucking done. Why is there a fucking notification here? Jesus. Oh, Safa, we're far too lazy to have a civil war. Oh my God, another one of Putin's spam bots. Fucking Microsoft. Honestly, I fucking hate them so much. What the fuck was I going to look up? I don't even remember now. God damn it. Microsoft fucking fucked me. God damn it. Deep sigh. Nice, Kirsten. We've been keeping you company while you do chores. Happy to keep you company. Yeah, Megaleech is a very weird number of spam bots tonight. It's ridiculous because there's not a lot of people on the stream. Why would we attract spam bots? And they are the worst fucking spam bots ever, honestly. They're terrible. But yeah, back to work tomorrow, and my boss is back. She was on leave last week. Team meeting in the morning, we'll see. Ooh, I like that, Megaleech. March 4, Season 2 of Picard. Okay, that just made me think of something funny. Okay, Picard Season 1, which I enjoyed, but there was a very funny bit to me when you realize you look at the way it's shot. Patrick Stewart is getting on in years. He's a bit old. His stunt double actually did his running for it. You look at shots where Picard is running, and it's obviously Patrick Stewart's stunt double. It's not Patrick Stewart, which I thought was kind of funny at the time. And on a similar front, I finally watched The Irishman on Netflix, the 3.5 hour gangster movie Martin Scorsese made for Netflix. And I thought it was pretty good, but there was this moment, and there's this thing they do digital de-aging, because the central characters age about 40 or 50 years in the movie. They go from like 30s to 70s or 80s in some cases. And the actual actors, so how old is De Niro? I need to look that up. De Niro. Robert De Niro. Okay, he's actually 78. Okay. So there was this one scene where his character is meant to be in his 30s, say, maybe 40s, but say 30s. So the character he's playing is at least 40 years younger than his actual age. And he's angry at someone and he's stomping. I think the digital de-aging in The Irishman is actually done really well. In fact, the only thing that distracted me is they gave Robert De Niro green eyes because his character's Irish, whereas Robert De Niro's Italian, has brown eyes. And that's what took me out. Every time Robert De Niro's there with green eyes, I'm just thinking that just looks fucking weird because I know Robert De Niro doesn't have green eyes, and that looks weird, and I know it's fake, and I know it's artificial, and it's taking me out of the moment. The de-aging did not take me out of the moment. The green eyes did. But anyway, there's this funny scene where De Niro's character is meant to be like 40 years younger than De Niro actually is, and he's beating someone up, and he's stomping him, and I started laughing because the physical action of De Niro stomping this guy, I was going, that's old man moves. That's an old man pretending to stomp someone. Because I'm just looking at that and going, that wouldn't hurt. If someone did that, that wouldn't hurt. And it's supposed to be savage beating. And I was just looking at it going, that doesn't look like a savage beating. His physical moves are how an old man moves. I found it funny. Safa, Princess Leia in Rogue One was not de-aging. That was completely computer generated. And it fucking sucked. Last time I re-watched Rogue One, which is broadly a movie I love, the Grand Moff Tarkin CG didn't bother me as much as it did the first time, but the Princess Leia CG did bother me still. Just looked so faked. It looked so stupid. The uncanny valley was, I think, this is just them. This was Lucasfilm and Disney just going, let's push technology to its limit. Bugger how stupid it's going to look afterwards. We're trying to find the limits of this technology. It would have been orders of magnitude better if they just recast the role of Grand Moff Tarkin and had a different actor play it. And in fact, I've seen the actor who's doing the voice, and they did the CG mapping over his face. He is a convincing, looks kind of like Peter Cushing. They absolutely should have just used that guy and not used the CG thing. That was a mistake, but I also know what they did because they're obsessed with the technology. Yes, Ms. Foxification, we've come a long way since rendering hair was a challenge. Particularly, you look at behind the scenes for the early Pixar films. Hair is a very big challenge. Rottweiler Dude, I broadly like the new Star Wars stuff. Like I said, I think Rogue One's a fucking excellent film. And I like the TV series too. Yeah, Abigail, Lucasfilm and Disney don't seem to be very good at de-aging, and they don't do deep fakes. They do completely computer generated. There's a YouTube channel called Corridor Digital, and they tried to recreate like young Luke from The Mandalorian and whatnot, but using deep fakes, not using complete computer generated. And they did a way better job. And in only a couple of days, at probably 1/100th the budget that Disney Lucasfilm had. But that is a valid observation, Dr. Abigail. Lucasfilm, Disney broadly seem quite bad at de-aging CGI. And yes, Safa, I think Obi-Wan might be good because they're not de-aging him. I love The Mandalorian. I'm enjoying Boba Fett. Hayden's going to be in Obi-Wan, apparently. And he wouldn't need to be de-aged. Yes, Abigail, the Corridor crew, Corridor Digital, they do great stuff. Oh my God. Another one of Safa's friends. Another spam bot. Mofo sign. Fur hair technology would help with opening up the destruction of the human race. Furry community. Don't diss furries. I've got no problem with furries. Furries are cool. Yeah. So I'm very interested to see where the Star Wars stuff goes. Kirsten, you and husband got boosted. Arm sore, feeling tired. My arm was sore for a couple of days, and there was and I showed it off on the stream. There was a very noticeable red circle on my arm for like a week or more, and I was tired for about 2 or 3 days. Day after, I was kind of like denying it. I'm not tired. Then it was like, oh, yeah, I am. I absolutely am. I was tired for like 2-3 days. God, how if I can chip my nail again? I feel a rough bit on my nail. It's this index finger. Because I use it to pry things off, I think. I end up chipping the nail. Oh well. I'll fix it up later. So that's what I'm saying. They are the worst spam bots ever. Not only is the username with the Cyrillic letters, or Cyrillic, however you pronounce it, so obviously spam bots, but it's not even a link that they put in the chat. There's a gap, because if they put an actual link, it would just get auto blocked. But with a space, it's not something you can click on. The concept that you would copy that link into a browser, delete the space so it actually went to a website which is full of... The concept that that would work is so fucking dumb. So fucking dumb. It's ridiculous. So I absolutely don't understand. I mean, I understand that it's zero effort to create these spam accounts and send the spam messages out, but it's got to be zero return. Like, there's the whole thing, like when people say, oh, most people don't fall for spam. Look, if 1 to 5% of people fall for spam and they send out millions of spam messages, and they do, then they're going to get a decent hit rate in terms of numbers. But those ones, the hit rate has to be zero. I cannot conceive of an instance where that would happen, because the people not clued in... I was going to call them stupid. It's not stupid to be caught out by spam. It's just not being clued in, really. But anyone who is not clued in enough to notice that is blatantly obvious, dangerous spam is not clued in enough to copy that text into a browser and delete the space and then hit enter. It's the hit rate for those things has to be zero. It can't be anything apart from zero. It's ridiculous. Oh, yes, Safa, you think Putin knows how much money I got and he wants my cash. He wants my crypto fortune. I don't have a crypto fortune, RJ. You're getting heavy rain again. Yeah, I saw that country is. We did not get rain today. I think tomorrow might be hot again, and then we're supposed to get an actual legit change and it be cooler. Weather, continue. 23 now. 30 yeah, but then it's meant to cool way down. Also, then hopefully I get air conditioning. I have not had air conditioning for weeks. Tomorrow's going to be hot, but then it's meant to actually significantly cool down. God damn, dude. God damn. Yes, Kirsten, we do need to speak to parents and elders about spam delivery texts. If you don't 100% know where a text came from, don't do anything. Don't click on anything. Don't call on any numbers. Don't answer any numbers. I answered a spam call the other day. I just wanted to. There's a number, and I was just looking at it going, that number's spoofed. No one would call me from that number. It's saying it's from Sydney. And I answered it and said, hello, and someone with an Indian accent started saying stuff. And I said, who are you? And he's saying this ridiculous stuff about Telstra's security department, you're compromised. And I just wanted to hear what his spiel was. And I let it go, and I was like, And then just, I don't know, halfway through his spiel, I got really angry. I got really angry at what a piece of shit you'd have to be to do this. And just in the middle of him talking, I just went, suck my dick. And hung up. Mrs. Angry was in the same room, so she thought it was hilarious that I'm listening on my phone, and then I just went, suck my dick, and hang up. She'd go, oh, talking to your boss, were you? I'll suffer. The spam calls come from everywhere. It's true. And your question, if you're on Facebook jail, does that include Messenger? I don't think it does, but I'm not sure. I was in Facebook jail again recently. I've been so bad on Facebook. If I say anything mildly negative, I get in Facebook jail. Like literally, I got in Facebook jail for calling a racist a piece of garbage. And they actually sent me a message. If you call someone something we don't like, you're going to... And they gave the example, if you call someone a potato. So you can end up in Facebook jail for calling someone a potato, which I think is hilarious. I think it's really funny. Unnamed channel, you're in IT, you got caught out waiting for a call from Office 365 support for client. You got the call, 3 a.m. ring twice, hang up, you're sleepy. I work on simulated phishing campaigns in my workplace because I work in cybersecurity. I clicked on one once and it popped up saying, "Wow, this was a test." And I went, "Oops, oh my bad." Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, no. Unnamed channel. The thing is, these spam texts and calls and emails are so relentless. Anyone, no matter how well they know security, can be caught off guard. Mofile saying too many consumer disloyalty points for the corpo cops. Yeah. I'm in a Facebook group where they share memes where it's basically making fun of people who are usually just like far right loonies. It's like man invents fictional scenario, then gets mad about it. Like, and these people, particularly on the right, particularly in America, although it's more widespread than both those things, but the worst is from the right and from America. They put something online that's obviously untrue, like super obviously untrue. And then they have this big rant about how angry it makes them. And it's like, well, dude, lucky it's not real. And I was like, fucking hell. But there was one the other day, someone had a picture, it was from something, I don't know what it's a stock image that's meant to be the future. And it's like this smooth white robot with someone, a human person sitting at a desk, and the robot sort of got their hand on their shoulder and is pointing at the computer screen. You know, it's a stock image that's meant to be used to illustrate something. And some right winger they put a Facebook logo on the robot's forehead, and they relabeled it the Facebook robot pointing to the meme that's got me scheduled for execution. And someone shared it because they've got this big persecution complex. They think the world's out to get them, and they're just assholes. And when it's true, they've got a persecution complex. They're assholes. They just want to act like they think the world's out to get them. But I also found the meme to be objectively funny. The idea of Facebook deploying humanoid robots that come around and say, "Hi, see where you posted that? Yeah, that's why you're scheduled for execution." I actually thought that was objectively funny, probably because of the amount of times I've been in Facebook jail. So, yeah. Justin, you've heard spam calls where they say they've captured a family member and asking for ransom. That's an extreme one. That is, wow, that's fucking wild. Oh my God. Unnamed channel. That's hilarious. You saw one on YouTube. Family member says, "I want to speak to the person you've got hostage." And yeah, the person they're claiming they captured is American and the actor's Indian with a really obvious accent. Yeah. Oh, Mofo sign QAnon is just fucking ridiculous. And yes, it's weaponized ARG, augmented reality game. There are some people behind it who know what they're saying is lies, and they know they're just manipulating people and they're trying to get influence over people. But there's a freakish number of people who embrace the bullshit. It's very troubling. It's very troubling, quite honestly. Not only am I not, see, I was good tonight. I only had 2 alcoholic beverages. It's like I'm borderline not an alcoholic. Holy shit. Another fucking spam bot. That's fucking wild. That's a lot of them. I'm just trying to think, someone with an actual popular live stream. The live chat must be unusable. They must get so many spam bots. Jesus. All right, I'm just going to put these back on the shelf. Right, that is there. That is there. Oh. Although I do feel like I want a snacky before bedtime. What snacky can I have? I'm gonna have a digestive. Where? Okay. Safa, I am streaming to Twitch. Tonight it's Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. I haven't really seen any Twitch people on the chat tonight. It's just been YouTube people. A name channel, you were good, you only had 2 bottles of spirits. Well, my first drink was whiskey, rye, apple liqueur, tiny bit of fruit liqueur. Second one was rum and rye. Reasonably restrained, I think. I mean, goddamn, feeling it. Huh. Safa, I don't think the spam bots are on Twitch. I think they've all been on YouTube. I am going to have to share this particular thing with my bartender pals because I really liked it. If you sort of went back in time with me, I never would have thought I'd be into such boozy cocktails. Like the early cocktails that I enjoyed were a bit lighter. They had mixers and whatnot. But these days, top of my charts is almost always really boozy cocktails. Cocktails that are basically all alcohol. The components have different levels of alcohol content. But my favorite things are really boozy ones. Justin, you think it's good that Trump isn't in office because of the Ukraine crisis? But I don't know. Who fucking knows how different it would be because of the dealings Trump has with Putin? I don't know. Who knows? It's impossible to tell with Trump because nothing about Trump makes any sense whatsoever. So... And okay, I'm just a bit of a throwback. Who remembers, because I think people forgot this, Trump actually gave an order or agreed with the military. Well, I think the military probably suggested it. And he said, yeah. He's the first US president to use in a theater of war the most powerful conventional bomb that exists, the MOAB. The massive ordnance airburst, the mother of all bombs, the most powerful non-nuclear bomb that exists. Used it in Afghanistan, like took out half of a fucking mountain with it. I can just imagine the meeting where the military said to Trump, you should be the first president who's man enough to do this because no one else has been man enough. And Trump got a whole fucking woody and went, yeah. And I think everyone's kind of... Safa, it was not a test run. There was a mountain that they said had a Taliban stronghold hidden in caves in the mountain. They took out half a fucking mountain with this fucking bomb. It was not a test. It was designed to kill people. Who fucking knows what actually was the result? But yeah, I feel like everyone kind of forgot Trump actually did that. He's the first president to order the use of this horrifically powerful bomb. It is actually more powerful than some low-yield nukes. It's freakish. Yes, optical too. Hyperbaric bomb. Yeah, it's just a ridiculously powerful bit of ordnance. So yeah, it's impossible to make sense of Trump. Sorry, unnamed channel saying a funny thing. Lighter side of the world. Your girlfriend and you were sitting out front. Neighbor's dog came over, peed on your girlfriend's leg, and ran home again. Good God. Abigail saying the first use was 2017. Did you just look that up? Look that up. Okay, 13th April 2017. Dropped on the cave complex in Afghanistan. First operational use of the bomb. Afghan spokesman said killed 94 people. Well, with no sign of civilian. I've lost track of time. Is that in that was Trump, wasn't it? Was it? That was Trump, wasn't it? He came in 2016. I've lost. Yeah, it was Trump. Yeah. I was sure it was Trump. I was very confused for time. Is meaningless. Tauk, T-A-U-Q, Tauk on Twitch. Hello. Just winding down last 15 minutes. A name channel, that may have been it. He thought there was a McDonald's when they weren't sharing. I agree, Abigail. Time just doesn't mean anything. It's like 2017. I should have instantly known that was definitely Trump. But it just threw me for a second. I was thinking, that was Trump, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Wasn't that? That was Trump, wasn't it? Because my memory, it was definitely Trump who authorized the use of the weapon. Obama just did thousands of fucking drone strikes and killed a shit ton of civilians. Talk, you love the random facts. It is just kind of came up. It just I can't, for no real reason. It popped into my head. Go, hey, remember when Trump ordered the use of that really fucking scary bomb? Unnamed. You have 1,500 in an Australian betting site. You bet $100 Trump would get into office in one. Nice. Oh well, fucking get the money, man. Get the money. Nobody. Thank you for dropping in. As we get into the tail end of the stream. Nice to see you. Oh my God. Ugh. So I shot a bunch of video today. One for someone else's YouTube channel, doing a little collaboration where I only had like 6 lines, but I was wearing a different one of these shirts every line, just as a joke. The other one is for my cocktail channel, one of my pseudo animated things, and that was the drink I had at the start because I made it just before the stream to do close-ups, and then had the drink for the stream. Unnamed channel. We're an OnlyFans. I should have an OnlyFans. Justin, you've heard an argument, nukes have promoted peace because war breaks out all over. That argument, dude, I fucking grew up with that argument. Particularly in the 80s, we thought we were all going to die, and the only thing that was protecting us was the mutually assured destruction doctrine. The theory that both Russia and the US understood, if either of them used nukes, the other also would, and everyone would die. Potentially that's true, but nukes open the door for accidents, which is terrifying. Oh, nobody. You're looking into StreamYard for the church. It's real easy to use. I'll just say that. And I'm not even using any of the real technical things. As I say, at some point, I'm going to get Abigail over for another tech support session and join in on a stream. but she's going to help me set up some more complex thing, because I think it would be fun if I did a bit of game streaming. Particularly, I want to do Red Dead Redemption 2 because it's such a fun game. And I played a little bit of it today, where I did a very successful robbery. And I got a lot of money, and I probably should spend it before someone robs me. I have to work out what I can buy with it. I need better guns, basically. Although I did get a pump-action shotgun for the first time, which is probably going to be pretty good in a fucking close-range fight. If I had a bunch of people in a close-range fight, now I've got a pump-action shotgun, just being able to go kaboosh, kaboosh, kaboosh. Talk, what a scary thought. An AI fires a nuke for whatever reason. Oh, yeah. No. There were at least 3 incidents during the Cold War, at least 2 in Russia and at least 1 in the US, where someone with the authority to launch nukes got a report from their system that basically told them, you should be launching nukes. We've detected an enemy launch. Protocol is you now launch the nukes. And the person looked at it going, do I really want to do this? Do I want to launch a bunch of nuclear weapons? And they looked at, and in every case, what it was is the computer, and the computer had misinterpreted some data, and they had said the enemy had launched a very small number of nukes, like 2 or 3. And in each case, the person went, while they're sitting there going, I'm not sure I actually want to launch nukes no matter what. They looked at the report and they're going, that doesn't make sense. Who would launch 2 or 3 nukes? That doesn't make sense. If you were going to launch nukes, you fucking launch them all. And the person was sitting there looking at this computer screen going, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And they didn't. And they waited. And then the system sort of updated the information and went, oh, false alarm. So that happened at least 3 times. Yes, Abigail, it is fucking terrifying. Another fun one, we don't know about the Russians because they're more secretive. The US lost multiple warheads, nuclear bombs. Planes accidentally dropped nuclear bombs. I think one landed in like Antarctica, in the ocean in Antarctica. And because I'm bringing up the Cold War, another fucking Russian spam bot. Okay. But, and here's a fun one. Here's a real fun one. At least once, I think it was in Oklahoma, a US nuclear bomber accidentally dropped the bomb. The bomb wasn't armed, but it accidentally dropped the bomb, and the bomb plummeted to earth and hit the ground and didn't detonate because it wasn't armed. But how good is that? And yes, Abigail, I've also heard the story about an audit showed a US nuke silo had the password for the launch codes being 0000. So, Miss Foxification, you're finding the conversation strange because you're creeping around in a game that's a 3D scan of the Chernobyl exclusion site. Yay. And yes, unnamed channel, a solar flare can fuck up computer systems and do these things. Justin, there's a close call after the Soviet Union fell when Norway fired something. Russia thought it was a US nuke. Yeah. Like I said, there were at least 3 cases, two in Russia, 1 in the US, where someone with the power to launch a nuke, according to the rules, should have launched. And they looked at the information they were getting and they were like, nah, what? And they were not, their rulers don't question the information. Do not question it. If these things happen, you launch. But they looked at the info they were getting and they went, nah, that can't be right. And in each case, their intuition turned out to be true. So there you go. Nobody, it would be better if we got rid of nukes. But again, there is actually that argument, and you can't disprove that argument that there hasn't been like a full-scale world war because of nukes, because if you launch nukes, everyone dies. You can't disprove that argument. Miss Fox Gautier, when a Russian who refused orders died recently, he didn't get a pat on the back. He's frowned on for just disobeying orders. It's the plot of that movie with, and that's like a 20, 30-year-old movie with Denzel Washington and Gene Hackman, Crimson Tide. Although they don't say it in the movie. You know how they love saying inspired by true events? That was inspired by true events. That was a guy getting a code saying you should launch, but it was incomplete. And one of them saying, yeah, launch. And the other one's going, no, don't do it. So if your phone line got fried and your DSL port, your phone line's replaced, you get a new modem. Okay, that's okay. Justin, the US have invaded Russia without nukes. Who knows? That's the thing. You can't disprove that. You can't prove it. You can't categorically say the reason the US and Russia haven't come into direct conflict is nukes. But you can't disprove it. Because you can't prove a negative, basically. Mofo maybe it's why you're going to end the world. You've got to commit to it. Don't leave witnesses. Yeah, well, that scale of world-ending shit certainly won't be any witnesses afterwards. No one to tell stories. That's for fucking show and certain. Wow, what a bummer to end the night. Can we talk about fluffy bunny rabbits and kittens for the last couple of minutes because I'm about to go to bed? How did we end up on the apocalypse? I don't know. It's the thing that happens, I guess. Oh, God. Yep. Okay. Okay, what the fuck is that? I was going to look up one thing before I went to bed because I just thought of it. Buy syrup. Do you have recipes for a rose syrup? Because I've got a rose syrup. Rose syrup. There we go. What do they recommend for a rose syrup? A Rosalia Margarita. Harold and Maud? Persepolis? Wild Rose Margarita? Okay. Oh, good Lord. I'm going to have to look up those. Yep, I'm going to look those up at some point. Because I got this interesting thing of rose syrup. It's a very thick syrup. Young Mr. Angry spotted it, and that looks cool. You could use that in drinks. And I went, yeah, good thinking, pal. You're going to get me that. Haven't used it yet. I'm going to do it. Kirsten, you're not sleeping tonight. World ending is one of those things that give you anxiety. Sorry for the anxiety. Thank you for the distraction, Abigail. Ducks have corkscrew-shaped penises that drop off and regrow every year. And female ducks have... The reason male ducks have corkscrew penises is female ducks have quite complex vaginas, so they can control which duck impregnates them, essentially. Ducks are strange, essentially, is what we're saying. That's probably enough yawning. That's probably a big old sign to go to bed. Nobody has something nice to finish us on. Nettie gave you a book as a housewarming present. You've been reading it to her over the internet to help her feel presence, help her relax, particularly when she's sick. Nice. The connection's nice. It's wonderful. That is a lovely, heartwarming thing to finish the stream on. But I am going to finish the stream. Go Nine Eyes. I'm yawning again. I'm going to yawn again. Jesus. Okay. So, you all Take care. And yes, Abigail, that's a wonderful turn of phrase. Male and female ducks are in a constant genital arms race. It's true. It's absolutely true. I'm going to go to bed. I won't be doing a stream tomorrow. I'll be watching some stuff with Mrs. Angry. Not even sure what we'll be watching yet. We'll be watching something. Probably doing a stream on Tuesday night, though. My cocktail channel has a new video tomorrow with that weird and wacky where I talk to myself. I play both characters. And it's a good drink, too. Yeah. But who knows what's going to be on my channel this week? All sorts of things. I was going to do my barrel cocktail, actually. Might still do that this week. We shall see. But I'll see all you fine people another time. I'm going to go to bed.